So you may know Missy Dakota as the person who makes art for lots of my videos, but what you might not know is that she lives in Poland, and back in March of this year, she was asked to take up the position of a content consultant for the Polish Warrior Cats books. And since then, I have become very familiar with these translations, as she can go on and on when she starts talking about them.
You just activated my trap card! Now nothing will stop me from talking about Polish warriors.
Great to have you here, Dakota. StarClan knows I wouldn't be able to talk about all this myself. Honestly, it's really, really interesting how much goes into producing and marketing Warrior Cats to a whole other language and country. I can't even begin to comprehend what the Warrior Cats experience is like in Germany, or France, or China, but for Poland, I got it covered. Take it away, Dakota.
Let's start with some basic information you need to know. The current publisher is Nowa Baśń, who has been translating Warriors since 2015, and I know 2015 is pretty late to start working on such enormous series, but we'll get to that later. Here are the books we have published so far, so that you're up to date with the discussion. The Prophecies Begin arc, almost the whole new prophecy, Sunset is Coming, Firestar's Quest, Blue Star's Prophecy, Yellow Fang's Secret, and some mangas, The Rise of Scourge and the first two Sashas, with the third one coming really soon. You can say that we're on a roll as we try to publish a new Warriors book every single month. The pattern is simple: main series, manga, main series, super edition, and repeat.
So, no field guides or novellas.
Patience, my friend.
So, tell us about your job. What does a content consultant do?
I fix whatever needs fixing. After the book is translated, the PDF file is delivered to me. My job is reading through the entire novel, looking for all the mistakes. This includes fur and eye colors, names, clan terminology, and sometimes even event inconsistencies, like Shrupo being mentioned to die during the journey, which of course was not true. It's a lot of fun and very satisfying knowing that you're partially responsible for bringing the fans books that have less mistakes. I think my favorite fix was the Prologue to Twilight, which was the very first book I ever got to correct. In the prologue, we are introduced to this mysterious cat who has received a prophecy from StarClan that they will die soon. It is never stated who the cat is or even what gender they are. Only at the very end of the book, it is revealed that the cat in the prologue was Cinderpelt, and even then it's not made super clear that it was really her. Things like this are pretty easy to overlook, and unless you pay attention to every single small detail, you're not gonna notice. But my job is to notice it. So, time for a quick grammar lesson. All nouns in our language are lexically gendered, and in the case of the word cat, this noun is considered masculine. This impacts all the verbs and adjectives used in the relation to this cat, as verbs and adjectives are also gendered. In short, if the noun is masculine, then all the adjectives and verbs in relation to that word are also masculine. So, how this relates to Cinderpelt being a mysterious cat in the prologue? Well, simple, she was described as a male cat. Everything she said was translated as if a male character was speaking. That's why it's so important for me to keep track of everybody's gender, because one letter in a word can turn a she-cat into a Tom.
So, you can correct any mistake you want? Does that mean Dovewing's eyes are gonna stay one color throughout all the books?
I wish.
While we're on the topic, is there something interesting you can tell us about the translations?
Oh, actually there is. Nowa Baśń wasn't the original publisher of Polish Warriors. Back in 2003 it was Amber who were bringing our favorite cat books to life. Granted, they only published the first two books and stopped after that, but their translations gave birth to the oldest generation of fans who to this day use the old terminology like Gale Clan for Wind Clan or Masters for Mentors. I even heard the stories about people buying the original books in English abroad and then scanning them because Amber stopped translating the books after Fire and Ice. After that, they were dividing the scanned copies among themselves to translate it chapter by chapter. It's incredible when you think about it. Even though the original publisher decided to give up, the fans never did.
I suppose the allure of violent cat books is simply too strong.
Deep down, we're just a bunch of fairies. Well, over a decade later, Nova Bashin took over. They kept the rules of translating untouched, but the translations themselves were different in some cases.
What do you mean by rules of translating?
Our names are not two nouns smashed together, but an adjective and a noun. This means we have ogniste serce, which means fiery heart, and obłoczny ogon, which means cloudy tail. This way of translating is something that was kept from Amber's books, and honestly it just flows better when reading, as our language is much more complicated grammatically. As for the names of the clans, this is quite interesting because we use noun and genitive, meaning Clan Rzeki, River Clan, is literally clan of the river.
Did anything get lost in translation throughout the years?
As much as I would wish that our translations were perfect, they're obviously not, but that's the case with any translated media. We had some weird translation choices in the early books. Brindleface was translated into brown muzzle and Barkface into coughing muzzle. There was also a pretty weird case of all the names with foot being translated into paw, thus making Deadfoot a Wind Clan deputy and apprentice, as well as Ashfoot, who at the time was a mother. The foot case was fixed a book later, so it didn't stay long enough to make any lasting damage, thanks StarClan. Well, over time the translations have gotten much better.
Okay, let's get to a juicy topic. Your amazing covers.
The cover art is definitely the most well-known thing about the Polish editions, but surprisingly we didn't start with them. The first arc, The Prophecies Begin, was published with German covers, which are pretty popular in Europe and are being used by many other countries such as Norway, Spain or Italy.
So why did the covers change?
Buddy, that's simple. We haven't! As more books got published, we, the fans, got much more whiny. We just never liked the covers to begin with. They were unnaturally saturated, looked like poor Photoshop work, and the cats on the covers weren't even the actual characters. Or if they were unrecognizable. We just kept on complaining, which led to an artist getting hired for the second arc. Say hello to Jędrzej Kaminsky, a guy who actually reads the books and does research within the fandom to get the best idea on how we imagine the characters. Just from the first book you could tell that he has not only the necessary skill, but also the passion and imagination to bring our favorite characters to life. Just take a look at his newest cover, Sunset! I am absolutely in love of how subtle the details are. Is it just me or the rising sun is just so beautiful and oh my god! Jędrzej, however, is not the only artist that does the covers. Marcin Leśniak is another creator that's been with us for a while and he's responsible for Sasha's manga arc, as well as the first two super editions, Firestar's Quest and Blue Star's Prophecy. While not as detailed as the covers for main arcs, the cats are very stylized, and I love how the backgrounds convey the emotions. Misty Morning is perfect for melancholic Blue Star, and look how the forest changes for Sasha. When she's with Tiger Star, everything is green and full of life and beautiful, but once she leaves, this once beautiful place turns cold and gloomy. Anna Podedworna is the newest addition to this artistic family. She's best known as Acreon on DeviantArt. Her first cover was Yellowfang's Secret, and I mean, just look at this. Look at the emotion on Yellowfang's face, look how she's hugging baby Broken Star, look at those frosty leaves! I had the pleasure of creating the concept for this book, and when I saw the first sketch, I almost regretted bringing the idea up, because it just broke my heart with how emotional the work was. Well, if you're interested in seeing more of their amazing work, we'll leave links to their profiles in the description.
Well, you can't really talk about the covers without bringing up the merchandise that comes with pre-orders, right?
That's right, we are really active on Facebook and Instagram, and as you can imagine, we always advertise upcoming books. To make pre-orders a much sweeter deal, we add exclusive merch based on the cover of each book. You might be familiar with Chinese trading cards, and we went for a similar concept but with collector's cards. Every pre-order includes a card with an original number. This number shows how fast you were with your order and how many people outrun you. My personal record is number 9 on Starlight, and these cards are far from the only things we have to offer. Material, posters, stickers, keychains, bookmarks, pins, and much more. You even got your paws on some of the merch yourself, haven't you?
Of course, I have a leaf pool on my wall.
Like the goddess she is. But my absolute favorite thing, merch-wise, are the t-shirts. Comfy, full-printed t-shirts. You're basically wearing the whole book on your body, front cover and back cover, but without descriptions or titles. And don't worry, these beauties are not pre-order exclusive. Well, they're not even Poland exclusive. Check the description for the official eBay page. We keep updating it with every new pattern. Nothing better than wearing your warrior's pride.
Yeah, whatever. Let me know when they make a J-Feather shirt.
I'm also looking forward to seeing it.
Get out. Anyways, speaking of Warrior's Pride, I know that you're no stranger to conventions.
I will be honest here. I'm an active convention goer, and I was always wondering why there are no Warriors conventions in the US. I grew up on My Little Pony cons, which were and still are plentiful in Poland, even if the event gathers only like 70 people. So why not Warrior cons? Well, we found the solution. It's not a full-blown convention, but a discussion panel with people responsible for publishing the books, including little old me as the host. Back in May 2019, we organized a short panel at Warsaw's book fair. The fair itself held over 80,000 people. We were really surprised with the attendance, as more people showed up to our panel than we originally expected. Now imagine around 300 Warriors fans in the same room. Imagine finding your online friend in this crowd and those first awkward minutes face to face, but then you're laughing about how stupid Ashford is, or you jokingly argue about Dovewing's eye color. This is exactly what's great about the conventions, seeing people bond and have fun. Everywhere I look, there are those groups of kids smiling and laughing. It just feels so good to know that the Warrior series brought them together. But enough of the theory stuff. Let's talk about the panel. It was just so much fun. We were being asked questions about the series, like our favorite ships or characters, and we had the chance to spill a little bit of the tea about the upcoming translations. Not every translation was met with approval, but hey, you can't please everyone. Now, my favorite part of the panel was the presentation of the exclusive illustrated hardback edition of Into the Wild. Jędrzej and I had the pleasure of showing it up to the crowd, which exploded into screams, applauding, and very tamely cursing. Just the whole experience was overwhelming for all of us who were involved. And I've got a feeling you might have your own opinion on this special edition of Into the Wild soon.
I'm sure I will. All of you watching will know why soon enough. So, I guess that about wraps things up. Any final comments?
Nothing much, I'm afraid, but if you guys are interested in being up to date with all the new covers, new merch, or other fun Warrior stuff, I highly recommend checking out the official fan page of Nowe Baśni. And if you're not a big Facebook person, you can always follow my Twitter, where I'm the first to publish news about Polish releases. If you're outside of US and your country does cool things with promoting or translating Warriors, then feel free to share it in the comments. Thanks for having me, Akira. I hope I didn't bore you to death with all my rambling.
Not at all. It was wonderful having you. And to all of you watching, thanks for making it all the way through this video. Bye everyone!
Goodbye!